How often do you wear the clothes you buy?
Fashion is one of the biggest polluting industries.
This documentary is about what young people can do to make a difference.
We'll be doing a makeover from charity shop bought garments with the help of a top stylist, learning how to repair clothes and meeting fashion experts and a campaigner who are all trying to bring about change.
What do you think about the idea of fast fashion?
You may have heard the term the democratization of fashion, and what that means is making fashion available for anyone of any income. So that is fantastic, and fast fashion has contributed to that. But the flip side is that we are putting a lot of extra pressure on our natural resources and also on the garment workers. We're even putting more pressure onto consumers as well, who feel the need to want new things more and more quickly.
Do you agree that fast fashion is the biggest problem within the environment today?
I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's a big one. At the moment, we buy clothes that last very few months or years because it's not designed to last. Currently, we have a business model which is based on take, use, and throw away. The fashion industry is contributing more to climate change than all the international aviation and shipping combined.
So I've heard that fabric is a really big problem.
You're right, because the highest environmental impact of the fashion industry is in the production of the fiber and fabrics and the garment. And this is why a trade is so important. We try to encourage people to buy more second-hand clothes, because buying second-hand clothes is the more eco-smart way of consuming clothes.
So which fabrics do you think are the most problematic?
All fabrics has an impact on the environment. Cotton, it's a natural fiber, but the challenge with cotton is that in order to grow the cotton, we need to put a lot of pesticides and fertilizers. And this is really bad, not only for the soil and the water which is under the soil, but also for the farmers. So at TRAID, we have projects to encourage farmers to move away to conventional cotton to organic cotton. So to reply your question, organic cotton is a very good option. And then if you are going to buy clothes that is made by synthetic, like polyester, we need to choose recyclable polyester. And there is brands like Patagonia, for example, that are making clothes using plastic bottles. But the best things that you can do is to avoid the need to produce new clothes and choose second-hand. At TRAID, we say second-hand first.
But can young people ditch fast fashion and break the stigma of second-hand clothing?
Would you ever buy clothes in a charity shop?
I don't think so, because I'm pretty scared if someone died in those clothes.
No, I usually buy clothes from normal shops.
I think it's just because a lot of the clothes are more for an older market.
We asked stylist Namalee Bolle to help 3 volunteers create looks from charity shop bought garments.
I've never really found something that I really like in a charity shop, but I'm not against it. I normally go for comfy clothes that look good.
I've actually never bought anything in the charity shop, but I wouldn't mind if I found something nice. If you looked inside my wardrobe, you'd see all black. You'd be lucky to find any other colour than that.
Do you normally buy clothes in a charity shop?
Not normally, but anytime I pass a charity shop, I do go inside and have a look. I don't really have a style. As long as it looks nice, that's fine with me.
First up is the British Heart Foundation, which funds research into heart and circulatory diseases.
Namalee's encouraging the stylists to put together 2 distinctive outfits which they'll present in a mini fashion show.
What's your idea? You've got some really great pieces there, and they're quite strong individual pieces, and I think...
I'm not really sure I have it's just anything.
It's instinctive.
Yeah. I think those 2 together.
Yeah.
Do you prefer pink or obnoxious orange?
What else is with the hat?
The charity shop is very cheap. Things are for £4-3 are very nice. And there's loads of good buys.
Next up is Sue Ryder, who provide palliative, neurological and bereavement support. They have a large vintage section. So what's been your favourite item of clothing that someone has donated here?
Jimmy Choo shoes. Brand new. Funny story is when customers are fighting for the goods they can get in charity shops, because you can get really great bargains.
Oh my god! Yeah, it looks super 80s Chanel, but mixed with Versace or something. I always shop at charity shops. You're buying something that's a special item that you found in a kind of treasure trove.
There is a red shop, and there is this shop. This one's quite late 60s, I think it would look quite nice though, with my colour palette.
I just think it looks nice. It's a bit 80s, 70s-ish.
The stylists have a lot to choose from, but are now off to their last stop, TRAID, who fund international development projects in the textile industry.
I don't think we're allowed too much profanity or whatever, but I guess this is alright, yeah.
I thought
like that.
this would look nice with over this.
Yes.
And there's also these trousers, which I think would look nice
They're
with
gorgeous.
that.
Yeah, that's quite a sort of nice, like evening-y kind of look. Still keeping that like end of the 70s bit, sort of early 80s bit that you like. Yeah. And again, you've gone for like a greeny, browny colour palette.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Now it's back to base to present the styling to the rest of the team.
I thought charity shops would just have vintage clothing, but after seeing it I realised they do have stuff that is quite in trend now.
Before I would never step foot into a charity shop, but now that I have actually experienced it, I think I might start buying some things.
And now that I've actually done it and bought items myself, yeah, I think I'm more confident in buying in charity shops now.
We still want to buy new clothes. We found out what the brands are doing to make a difference.
I would say that Ted Baker is very unique, we're very quirky, and we always look at the details and things. The concept of fast fashion does mean that it is trickier for us to make fashion sustainable, but there are so many moves in the right direction. The fact that the fashion industry has, I suppose, owned up to the fact that there are a lot of issues. We know that there are things that we have to change, both for the workers and also for the environment. I hope that technology will help us, and also just brands and customers knowing that there are alternatives out there.
What are sustainable fabrics?
So when we're looking at sustainability from an environmental perspective, it means that we're trying to avoid depleting natural resources. So even when we use something that is 100% recycled, we'll still be using resources to remake that fabric. So at this stage, I wouldn't say that there is anything that is 100% sustainable. There are definitely, though, fibres that are more sustainable.
So what does a more sustainable material look like?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that. Here's one we prepared earlier. So this is a Ted Baker playsuit that is made out of a fibre called Tencel. So Tencel is a type of regenerated cellulosic. I don't know if you've ever heard of the fibre viscose before. So viscose is a fibre that's actually made from trees. And the problem with that is that we cannot be 100% sure where those trees have come from. The other part is if you are turning what is essentially a tree into a type of fibre, it takes a lot of energy and also a lot of chemicals. So Tencel is a trademarked fabric by a company called Lenzing, and they take two things into consideration. Number one, the forests where the tree pulp comes from are from sustainable or renewable forests. And number two, the way that they process the fabric is to make sure that they use as few amount of chemicals as possible. And the chemicals that they do use, they recycle as much as possible over and over again. And here we have a really beautiful garment.
Sewing is an inexpensive way of repairing clothes, but is it too much hassle? Former fashion illustrator Tina came in to help us find out.
I can't sew, so I've never repaired my clothes.
Usually what I do is I just throw my clothes away or I give them to charity. Why do you think young people should learn to sew?
I think it's a very important skill. Also, sewing is a means of making art. It's a medium like paint.
How do you make your clothes last longer?
For instance, if you've got an anorak and the ends of the sleeves are fraying a bit, you turn it under just slightly and stitch it, and it looks like a completely new sleeve. And putting new elastic in waistbands, just make a little cut and thread the elastic, stitch it up.
Tina has challenged the team to try their hand at doing some repairs.
The hole was here, then I sewed it. It was difficult at first, but I got help and I got used to it and it was actually fun.
Now I know, like, if I can do one sock, I can do, like, a lot more.
During the making of this film, our attitudes towards the clothes that we wear have been challenged. Here are some final thoughts.
I've definitely learned more about fast fashion. I used to think about the human effect it has with sweatshops, but now I have learned more about the environmental effect it has with all the chemicals used.
Be cool is not buying clothes all the time that we don't need. Be cool, it's taking care about the things that are really important for us.
The need to go out and shop and shop and shop, and the need for something new is connected, I think, to people's mental health. We need to become a lot more conscious of that.
I just think that people should go to a charity shop just once in their lifetime at least, just to see what it's like.
Things are really changing in the fashion industry, and I think that if we watch this space, we're going to see some huge improvements and exciting things in the not too distant future.